Okay, so if you wear any kind of a Fitbit or a Garmin or an Apple Watch or whatever, and you care about your steps,
gotta get those steps.
Gotta get them steps in, all 12 of them, then this video is for you because we're gonna talk about the most walkable neighborhoods in Colorado Springs. And not just the most walkable neighborhoods, that's not just the reason that we're doing it, because that sounds super random. I swear it is like the most frequently asked question when, sorry, we're like walking and crossing streets and our videographer is, oh, hello, doing some magic. I swear it's like the most frequently asked question that I get is like, when someone is describing to me the type of house that they want me to help them find, it always has to do with like, oh, we just need it to be like walkable,
right,
you know?
We want to walk to the store, walk to the restaurants, you know?
But it's interesting because like, we actually kind of have different definitions of what we would consider walkable. So anyway, I'll let you take it because I think you have the correct definition.
Okay.
And I was like super confused.
So my definition of a walkable neighborhood is really going to be like, how close are conveniences, coffee shops, restaurants, grocery stores, convenience stores, things of that sort. So the number one walkable neighborhood, in my opinion, and I disagree with walkscore.com on this fact, but Old Colorado City. Old Colorado City,
yes.
I do live here, so I'm a little bit biased. It actually only had a 52, like on walkscore.com, it was a 52.
What?
Which is kind of ridiculous because I walk pretty much everywhere, and parking down here is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, we literally just walked out of a house and we are just about to turn onto Colorado Avenue where you have all the fantastic things going on. There is a King Soopers just on the other side of the neighborhood.
That was gonna be my question because I was like, oh, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
I was, pause.
Pause. Want to walk this way?
Do you wanna go that way?
Okay.
Change up, we're going the other direction. Okay, so that was gonna be my question because I know that the walkability score, yes, it's to get to bars and stuff like that, but it's actually, according to like, when they give high scores, it's also like, can you do life, all things in life, without having to drive? So I was gonna ask about the grocery store.
Yeah, so yeah, grocery store right on the other side of the neighborhood off of Uinta right there. There's 7-Elevens, so you don't have to, if you just want a little something quick, you
Convenience.
Convenience stores. But yeah, I mean, pretty much everything that you could possibly want is within walking distance here. And if you really wanted to make a hike out of it, you can hike to some trails here. You can get to Red Rocks open space by walking. You can actually get to Garden of the Gods too by walking. It's a little bit of a hike.
That sounds like a freaking walk.
It's a little bit of a
walk.
walk.
A walk and a half.
Yeah.
But you could scooter there, or you could
scooter there. It is very
there.
bikeable too, yes.
Which, by the way, like I would include in the walkability score.
The bike score.
To be totally honest, like, can you bike? Can you basically just get around without having to be in a car?
Yes.
That's to me.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm going out, like say I'm just going out for, you know, dinner or whatever, most of the time I'm not taking my car. I'm finding a scooter or walking. When I go to the farmers markets on Saturday mornings, I'm walking every single time, not messing with parking. So yeah, very, very walkable neighborhood. Number 2 on the list is actually going to be the Old North End.
Yeah, so Old North End is kind of where it sounds like. It is the Old North End of Old Colorado City, and it's just on the other side of Uinta, extends up a little bit. Now, it has, do you remember what its walkability score was?
72.
Okay, I have a problem with that because it is not more walkable than Old Colorado City.
Yeah, I know, I disagreed with some of their
It's
rankings.
not. And I think the reason that Old North End just has less restaurants, less bars, less like things that you would want to walk to.
Right.
And I don't feel like when I'm in the Old North End that I just see people out walking about.
Not really. Those are bigger roads, you know, Cascade, Tejon, Nevada, Wasatch are all a little bit heavier trafficked roads. There are some pretty big sidewalks, so you can walk around, but really to get anywhere in the Old North End, you've got to go through Colorado College.
Yeah.
So there's no, I mean, and granted, it's a pretty spot to walk through.
Okay, that is true. And I think they have decent walking scores because there's sidewalks and because you can walk around, but I think for the average person living in Old North End, it's just not like it's not what my
most
mind
walkable.
immediately goes to
No.
when I think about walkable neighborhoods.
Definitely not, no. But it is walkable,
Yeah.
to an extent. And then lastly on my list, this was actually Shook's run, but I'm going to just encompass all of downtown. But downtown Colorado Springs, there's lots of condos up there, and there's something pretty special about being able to walk downstairs out of your condo and have fantastic restaurants literally right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to beat. I had that experience when I was in college, and I literally, I never took my car anywhere. It was fantastic.
So much.
There was some bars right there that were kind of my frequent haunts.
So you're talking about like in and around Tejon.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a bunch of condos up along there. I've been in quite a few of them. I mean, and it just doesn't get more convenient than that, you know? You do have to, if you're gonna go grocery shopping, there is a grocery store actually over there called Bread and Butter. Really good spot. If you do go there, they've got this bread. They bake all their own bread. It's extra sour sourdough bread.
what?
Dude, it's literally the best sourdough bread I've ever had in my entire life. Not to get completely sidetracked, but downtown, definitely the most walkable, just as far as having modern, you know, conveniences, restaurants, bars, shops, coffee shops, pretty much you name it, you can find it downtown. So
this
definitely
is
check
like,
it out.
you've probably noticed that like I'm having a hard time paying attention. And it's just because like when we're walking down Colorado Avenue right now, and it's like there are a lot of these like even little homes, but they're zoned so that they can do like commercial things.
Yes.
So
yeah.
there's like a cannabis shop, and then the law firm, and then Mountain Shadows Restaurant, which is like in a house. Celebrate body, mind, and spirit. So it's a really like, it's just a cool spot. It actually gives me well, not really, but kind of a little bit of a feeling of like in Santa Fe, Canyon Street.
Okay.
Which is this huge residential street. It's like a mile long, but they're all art galleries.
Ooh.
Anywho, I don't know why I brought that up. But
That's
anyway,
a good point though.
But it's like the walkability. So, but here's what's funny is that Kyle, have kind of a different, and this is what I tend to have my conversations with clients who are relocating to Colorado Springs, because what a lot of them are really looking for, in my opinion, at least the people that I end up talking to, is when we say walkability, it's like ease and access. Like, can I go on a walk in my neighborhood? Sure. But it's like ease and access to trails.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because when we first started talking about doing this video, that was exactly what I thought. And I was like, oh, well, I would do this neighborhood and that neighborhood. And they were like, what? Those aren't like super walkable. So my two big ones, and I kind of lump them together even though they're not the same neighborhood, would be Rock Rimmon and Skyway. So Rock Rimmon is on the west side of I-25, just north of Old North End, and its centerpiece is Ute Valley Park. And Ute Valley Park has like miles and miles and miles of trails. And right now it's stunningly gorgeous because it's been raining quite a bit, and so it's super green. But like, that is like so easy to access. People bike there and then walk, or they go running or trail running or walking with their dogs, like whatever. And then Skyway, so Skyway has Bear Creek Regional Park, which is down there, which also has like a 10-acre dog park as a part of it. Speaking of doggies, hi baby. Hi. Sorry, distract. But anyway, so Bear Creek Regional Park is super, super awesome. But it's not just that. It's like there are so many, from like almost all the houses out there, there's so many like little trails that just go up and through the foothills that it really makes the space, like when you're home, you feel like you don't have to, like where I live, I don't go walking through my neighborhood. I live on the east side of town. I don't go walking through my neighborhood unless I have to. Like, I gotta take my dogs around, but it's not like there's nothing beautiful to see over there, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
fair.
there's nothing neat to look at. Even here, at least there's like cool architecture and like weird yards and old homes. Like, I mean, you got an Adobe home here and a blue home and a purple. It's like, it's so different feeling. Whereas like my neighborhood, you're just like walking through a cookie cutter neighborhood. So it was kind of interesting when we initially had the conversation, because we both had like kind of totally different.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a fair point too, because most towns, like, you don't have the trails that we have here in Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, literally smack in the middle of town. You can actually, there's a trail that I don't know what it's called, but that takes you can get to all of the open spaces through town. You can do it in one day on a bike too, apparently. But yeah, so I mean, just something different to think about, a different perspective to look at walkability here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so if you are, like we said, if you care about your steps, I'm only at 4,000 for the day, so I gotta
that's pretty good.
We're doing pretty decent. Yeah, it's true. We're doing pretty decent. Gosh, some of these houses are so cool.
I know, yeah, man.
What street is this?
This is Pikes Peak.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
This is cute.
So this is actually kind of interesting. This is an old church that's been converted into an apartment complex over here.
What?
Yeah. So pretty much everything, and I think we've talked about this in another video, but everything in Colorado or Old Colorado City is zoned R2. So you can have multi-family properties, and a lot of these bigger homes have been converted into apartments.
Huh.
You know, duplexes, triplexes, what have you. But
anyway, so yeah, all that to be said, we are the #1. Hello. We are we're the relocation team. If you guys have questions about walkability or neighborhoods or the feel or what's here, you know where to find us. The links are down below. If you want to see more on specific neighborhoods, we got a whole playlist of neighborhoods that get really deep diving into them so that you can learn where you're trying to go. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
woo!